Sir, are you trapped inside because of this grass?
My wheelchair can't push through that jungle, son.
A veteran shouldn't be a prisoner in his own home.
You fought for our freedom, let us give you yours.
I didn't think anyone cared about an old soldier.
We haven't forgotten. This lawn falls today.
When I looked into Henry's eyes and promised him that he wasn't going to be a prisoner in his own home for another single day, the stoic, hardened expression of a 90-year-old veteran didn't just soften, but it completely melted away, revealing the profound vulnerability of a man who had once fought on the front lines for our country's freedom, only to find himself trapped behind a wall of weeds in Savannah, Georgia. He sat there in his weathered wheelchair on the small concrete porch, his hands firmly gripping the armrests as if he were bracing for a battle he could no longer win. Wearing an olive drab military jacket that still bore the invisible weight of a lifetime of service and sacrifice. It was a staggering and deeply shameful sight to witness a hero who had once marched through mud and fire for the sake of others, now being held captive by a literal jungle of overgrown grass that had reached 5 feet high, effectively burying the wheelchair ramp that was his only connection to the outside world. The city of Savannah had shown a cold and calculated lack of empathy, sending him heartless notices and mounting fines of $500 every single week, treating this elderly soldier like a common nuisance rather than a living piece of American history who deserved our collective protection. This wasn't just a maintenance issue. It was a physical manifestation of the crushing isolation that far too many of our veterans face when they grow old and the world moves on without them. Henry told me with a voice that was raspy from age but still carried the unmistakable resonance of military discipline that he had spent his entire life following orders. Yet now he felt like he was being punished simply for being too old to push a mower through the thick, unforgiving Georgia brush. He had watched from behind his window as the grass grew into a suffocating barrier, feeling the walls of his sanctuary slowly closing in on him while the city's legal threats piled up like a death sentence for his remaining dignity. As I gripped the handle of my commercial mower and the engine roared to life with a defiant thunder, Henry watched with a look of silent, breathless wonder, as if he were seeing an Allied tank division arriving to liberate a besieged city. Every aggressive pass of my machine through that emerald forest of neglect felt like I was physically tearing down the bars of his cage and restoring a piece of the freedom he had spent his youth defending on foreign soil. I could feel the eyes of the neighborhood peeking through their blinds, the same people who had remained silent while the lawyer's letters piled up on his doorstep. And it made me work with a renewed sense of purpose to show them what real community looks like. As the crisp edges of the sidewalk finally reappeared and the ramp was cleared of the thorny vines that had snagged his wheels for months, the house transformed from a symbol of decay back into a place of honor. Henry rolled his chair forward to the very edge of the porch as the last patch of grass fell, his head held higher and his shoulders squared as if he were standing for a final inspection. And he whispered that for the first time in a very long time, he felt like the country he loved hadn't completely forgotten his name. He told me that he had been praying for a sign that someone still cared about an old soldier, and seeing his home restored felt like a victory more significant than any medal he had ever earned. I realized then that I wasn't just cutting grass. I was defending the legacy of a man who had shaped the character of our nation and ensuring he wouldn't be bullied out of his home. Before you scroll away, please take a second to comment which city you are watching from, because veterans like Henry deserve respect and support instead of lawyer letters when they hit a rough patch in their old age. If you saw a soldier who had fought for your freedom now struggling to find his own, would you have the heart to stop and stand guard for him one last time? Like and share this video to spread the message that no veteran should ever be left behind or forgotten. And may you always find kindness when you find yourself in the dark. Henry did his duty for us, and today we finally did ours for him.